Hello and welcome to the Going for Glory YouTube channel. I'm your host Niall McKiernan. Welcome to the Arsenal versus Manchester United preview. I said if the last video hit 5 likes, I would do a preview of this game, and you doubled that and actually gave it 10 likes, which I really do appreciate. Thank you so much. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be talking about some of the points that I think they're important to consider from an Arsenal perspective, and then a Manchester United perspective, and then at the end I will just culminate with a small little prediction and just a small little conclusion really to this video. And I hope you enjoy. If you do want to enjoy it, please give the video a like, and if you're not already, subscribed and share the video to your fellow Arsenal fans. Comment below with any predictions or thoughts that you have on my predictions, and yeah, let's get into it. So on to Arsenal. There's a couple of points I do want to mention, including some team news. And just based on their form and what I really expect of the game. So onto their form first. They're now 7 games unbeaten in the Premier League. I know they've had a couple of losses in the Carabao Cup and the FA Cup since then, but the last loss they've had in the Premier League came against Everton at Goodison Park when they lost 2-1, and if you remember, that was in the middle of December. So they've practically gone 1.5 months unbeaten in the Premier League, which is quite extraordinary considering the start we had, where we were as low as 15th, and there was all these memes and jokes going around that we might get relegated. And I suppose in the form that we were in, you would nearly think that we were going to get relegated. But since then, Arsenal have seemed to climb the table as much as possible, and I think they can climb a couple more places if other results go their way. And I think that there's no other reason for Arsenal. There's no reason that Arsenal can keep climbing in this, I suppose, blip of form, I suppose, that we find ourselves in. It's a positive blip, though. It is a positive blip. Now, going on to some team news, I don't know if Kieran Tierney is going to be able to play this game. They haven't provided an update in a couple of days. I don't expect him to play because, he is only coming out of an injury, and Cedric was superb against Southampton in the Premier League game, and I just don't see Kieran Tierney walking into the team, and just Mikel Arteta doesn't strike me, I suppose, as that kind of manager. Just, if you're a good player and you're just coming back from an injury, you get straight into the team when other players around you are playing well. And I think that's the same goes for Aubameyang. And even if Aubameyang's allowed to play with all the quarantine rules now in place in England, because I don't know if he went back home to Gabon to see his mother, because it's been revealed that his mother did not actually pass away, even though some idiots were making up that rumour. I couldn't believe that, to be honest. That's a bit disgusting. But anyway, his mother is in better health, and he just went home just to see her, which you can understand, really, And I'm getting a little off track here, but Aubameyang may not play, and so that leaves the left open, I suppose, for either Gabriel Martinelli or Nicola Pepe. Now, here's what I think about Pepe. Yes, his time at Arsenal has not been great, but he's in a good run of form now, and I just think to, I suppose, further his confidence, you should play him. Now, I know Gabriel Martinelli is a fantastic player, but he hasn't had the game time yet since coming back from injury. And, if we want to develop him as a player, I suppose you shouldn't really be pushing him into these situations against title contenders like United. And I just don't think that it makes much sense to start Martinelli ahead of Pepe. So I suppose I think Pepe is going to start. And also, last bit of news as well, or just some thoughts I have, Martin Odegaard. He signed on Tuesday, and he has been training, but I just don't see him walking into the team, considering how well Emile Smith-Rowe is playing. And I suppose, it's a new sort of system that he has to learn. And I also forgot to mention in the last video, he will wear the number 11 jersey, famously worn by Marc Overmars and Nicolas Anelka previously at the club. Lucas Torreira will probably be the most recent one as well. I just wanted to mention that. Not that it means anything. He may turn into the next Marc Overmars. I hope he doesn't turn into the next Nicolas Anelka, that's for sure. But yeah, he's a fantastic player. I'm glad he's at the club. Do I expect him to play a factor in the game? Yes. Do I think he's going to start? No, I don't think so. And now we move on to some thoughts that I have about Man United, and how really we shouldn't really pay too much attention to their loss against Sheffield. I mean, you'll see why in a minute, because their form has been absolutely fantastic, and really I think they are the favourites going into this game. So when you talk about Manchester United, you have to mention Bruno Fernandes. This man has been arguably one of the best signings that they've made post Ferguson, in terms of just how important he's been going forward for them. But the thing is, Manchester United, in my opinion, are one of the most inconsistent teams in the Premier League this year, despite being high up the table. And this could be down to a couple of things. Yes, they've had, an easy enough run of games, I suppose. And, when they play the big teams, they do tend to kind of, I don't know, just take the foot off the gas. It's in the Premier League anyway. Obviously they drew with Liverpool in the Premier League, and then they bet Liverpool, of course, in the FA Cup. Arsenal actually bet them as well, and I suppose that's what kind of kick-started their big rise, I suppose, in places in the league. That 1-0 win we had back in October, I think it was a Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang penalty. We played well, United didn't play well. And you look at their Champions League run, getting absolutely spanked really by Leipzig to stop them qualifying for the Champions League last 16, and now they're into the Europa League. That's not, and I hate to say it, title-winning form. And even to culminate all of that, they lost to a team that has only won one game before this in the Premier League this year, and that's Sheffield United. And they lost. Now, yeah, there were a couple of factors. Maybe their goal was offside, maybe their goal wasn't offside. You should not be relying on referee decisions, on just some decisions not going your way. If you want to be a true title contender, you shouldn't be relying on that kind of stuff against the team that are bottom in the table. It doesn't make much sense. Now, yes, Liverpool lost to Aston Villa 7-2, but you look and Liverpool have been inconsistent. This isn't about Liverpool, it's Man United. And earlier in the season, United lost 6-1 to Spurs at home. It really is, I suppose, I don't want to say touch and go, but it kind of is touch and go with United. There's two versions of United. There's the United that played against Liverpool in the FA Cup, in the FA Cup and the league, who were solid, who obviously won as well, and were playing well, versus a defensively shocking, really, United. That was seen against Sheffield, and to an extent RB Leipzig as well. And even Spurs, and even against Spurs in that 6-1 defeat, they were absolutely awful. Yet they're still second and in the title hunt. And that really tells you all you need to know about this Premier League. It's so, I suppose, open, really, I suppose, for any, if you slip, but if United keep slipping up, Man City, who are 1 point ahead now, may climb away, I suppose, from them. But I don't expect that to happen, because Man United, they always find a way to get back into this. They're just jammy. No, they're not jammy. But yeah, that's my thoughts on Manchester United. And now on to my prediction for the game, and just my final thoughts, I suppose, on the match this Saturday. So to conclude, this is my prediction for the game. Now, again, as I said, it does depend on what version of Manchester United, I suppose what version of Arsenal really shows up. Would it be the Manchester United that bet Liverpool? Will it be the Manchester United that bet Sheffield that shows up? And even from an Arsenal perspective, will it be start of the season Arsenal or mid-season Arsenal, I suppose? But I overall think that this is going to be a very entertaining game. It's going to be end-to-end, and I think, with all things considered, I'm going to say it's going to be 1-1. Lacazette to score for Arsenal, and Bruno Fernandes to score for Manchester United, because they're both my fantasy team and I want them to get points. Anyway, thank you very much for watching, everyone. Comment below with your predictions for the game, and comment below with any thoughts, I suppose, that you have on the game, because it is obviously a very fun, very, very important game when you think about it. And thank you very much for watching. I'll see you in the next video. It'll be next week when I upload. It'll probably just be another kind of transfer news bulletin, as well as a review of this game. Hopefully I'll be reviewing an Arsenal win. But as I say, I think it's going to be 1-1. What do you think? Let me know. And thank you very much for watching. Bye for now.